Yo, Monomonkey here, and this is going to be a video breaking down my pre-release deck and my experience doing the pre-release this past Friday. It was a fantastic time, honestly. I know there's been a lot of stuff out there about pre-release numbers being quite low, and I gotta say, my experience was not any different. So at my pre-release event on a Friday at 2 in the afternoon were 4 people, and me and my friends were 3 of those people. That said, it was a good time, and I'm just gonna get right to it in terms of how I built my deck. So I went kind of risky. It was a 44 card build. Generally the minimum number is 40 for this constructed format for pre-release, and anything outside of that kind of can mess up your density, right? But my land suite was 15 lands, the highlights of course being Escape Tunnel and Foot Headquarters, which it's the only hybrid land I had. And my promo card, which was actually pretty good, was Leonardo's Technique, so in foil. So this card ended up being really clutch for me. It's a sneak for 1 and a planes. Return 1 or 2 target creature cards, each with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And this was super helpful in almost all of my games. So I also want to just review each of like the best cards and then kind of like what came in the clutch. So Leader's Talent was one of the cards, one of the better cards I opened in my pre-release kit. Honestly, I've gotten my butt kicked like a lot at pre-release events. Just because I feel like I wasn't really opening anything great. And I didn't get the best opening, but I definitely got some good cards. So Leader's Talent was clutch. Being able to add 1/1 counters, and then also to gain life in a format where I'm taking away my own life, and also beginning with just 20 is certainly useful. Okay, Prehistoric Pet, also super clutch. So this little dino can't be blocked by creatures with greater power, and then you can also bounce to your own hand with its tap ability, which was pretty useful in a valiant effort in one of my matchups. And then of course we have Triceratron Commander, which is a cool mythic, and I'm probably gonna find a home for this in my Gishath Commander deck, but it's a flyer and it gets tokens on the field. So this is probably one of my better cards, and I didn't get a chance to play it. I did have it in my hand one game and I won without it. I just didn't want to overcommit on mana to create the amount of tokens necessary, because I just wasn't really confident in deviating from my game plan, because I was a little bit afraid my opponent would drop a bomb on me, because I know him and he's a very clever player. So I kind of wanted to have this in my back sleeve to repopulate my board just in case. But very impactful card if you're able to pull that. And another rare that I pulled was Turtles Forever, and this I did end up using this. Honestly, it's a casual format, so I'm not really sure what people's opinions on this are, but it's an instant where I can search for 4 legendary creatures outside of the game, right? So on like a sideboard, and throw those into your hand. And I did end up playing this in one of the matches, and it was clutch, and I did win, but ultimately I was ahead, and we were kind of up against the clock, so it ultimately didn't matter. But let me know what you think, because it's kind of controversial just playing cards out of the game, right? But hey, it's in my pre-release box, right? So there it goes. Dimensional Exile, I didn't get a chance to make this useful at all, but very useful enchantment to essentially exile something off of the other player's board and exile a target creature, that is, and then it's enchanting my land, right? So I did have this countered, but this is very good because, like if you don't counter it, I mean, who's going to have land removal? Like I don't really know of many land removal cards in this set, or you'd have to find destroy target permanent. So this is really useful if you can get that as a control piece. Hamato Guardian Stance was like my only attack trick outside of using sneak. And, you know, to be clear, like this is a white-black deck. So, you know, sneak was the go-to mechanic here. Sneak and disappear. I'll get more into that when I get to the creatures. And then I have a sewer frame Last Ronin technique, which would have been really cool if I ever drew it. But to be able to create 3 1/1 Ninja Turtle spirit creature tokens in a pinch would have been sick. So put that back down. Okay, so here's my removal suite, and I have 4 removal cards here. Grounded for Life, which, you know, I used several times to destroy a target creature that was tapped, and Make Your Move, which is destroy target artifact enchantment. I was able to play that once. Anchovy and Banana Pizza, I was able to play this twice. And Shredder Technique, I did not get the opportunity to play this card. In retrospect, I don't think I had enough of a removal suite, and I had the option to do so. I did have another Anchovy Banana Pizza, and I did have another, oh my god, wasn't that a ridiculous statement to say, Anchovy Banana Pizza, like that rapidly, that many times? And a Grounded for Life, I had another one of those, and you know, I ultimately went lighter on that suite because I was already running 44 cards. I just really wanted to make sure I had a good amount of creature density, and I'll now just go further into the creatures, because you got my two, you know, my two really handy, you know, my rare, my mythic right here respectively. Let's get into the creatures that, you know, like were you know, putting in work. So Shredder, Unrelenting, he helps seal 2 games for me. Having a big body with Death Touch, giving other creatures Death Touch, was really clutch. And I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but obviously his merits are pretty clear, right? You get a 6/4 tapped and attacking on the battlefield, and you give another creature Death Touch. So it's a really good way to swing the momentum when leveraging the sneak mechanic. And this was like the most clutch card for me to have 3 of, because what I didn't want to do is be either mana flooded or mana constrained and not have any card draw. So Orokusaki allows you to sneak for 2, and you can draw a card and lose 1 life when she gets off combat damage. Super, super clutch. So I had 3 of those. I don't know if I have all 3 in a row, but I had 3 of those, and in my first match, I was able to get all 3 to hit the field. Super awesome. Foot Elite, just more of like a body 3-drop, you know, like nothing special there. The Foot Ninjas, kind of a high mana cost, but, you know, to get an ETB for 3 life and a decent sized body was of course a meritable include. Action News Crew put in a lot of work for me, purely because it's like my only 2-drop. So just being able to put a 2-drop on the field that's a 2/2 with vigilance, it was super clutch. And of course, like I didn't know if I was going to come up against another, you know, a sneak mechanic. So just, you know, having this as a blocker in a pinch was always going to be solid. Foot Mystic, you know, I don't really get too much value out of that, but I'll move on. Foot Elite again. High Flying Ace, 3-drop with flying. Anytime you can get flying on the field, I mean, it brings you evasion, and of course with the sneak mechanic. So yeah, so High Flying Ace was clutch. Leonardo, Big Brother, sneak for 1, and then of course he gets +1 for each other creature you control. So really solid. You know, and him, you know, having 3 toughness was clutch, but man, if this was +1/+1, you know, I might have gone undefeated, honestly. Like he, you know, that would have been super cool. Jenica, she, you know, was useful in one of my games. In another game she got bounced, so I didn't get to use her ETB, but you know, a 3/3 body with plane cycling, and creates a 2/2 mutant token, you know, like not mad at it. Another creature with flying, 3-drop with disappear. I did not get, I think I may have been able to use the disappear trigger once, and honestly, being able to scry while combining with, you know, Orokai or Oroku was like a lovely combination. And I'm sorry if this is a little bit harder to see because of my sleeves, so I'm trying to read the cards as clearly as possible. for a better experience. Okay, another high flying ace. East Wind Avatar, what can I say? It's a 4-drop flying vigilance, evasion, sneak. Like, you gotta have it. And then here goes my third Oroku, and then another Leonardo. So I just wanted to make sure I had the density I needed in case I was playing against a lot of removal and spells, and that is pretty much the deck. I mean, I have, you know, this that enters and gets you card draw as well, so I wish I had more than one of these, you know, so the more card draw you can get, the better. Overall, I won 2 out of my 3 matchups. Some difficult cards for me to deal with in these matchups were the Baxter Stockman. So I had an opponent playing a Donatello card and Baxter Stockman, and a like, I think like a 1-drop artifact creature. I'll put the images on the screen here, but basically that combination, being able to use Donatello to add 3 counters to their like 1-drop or like their 1/1 token, and then have Baxter Stockman bump up their you know, give it first strike, vigilance, and +3/+0 was you know, I got my butt kicked in that matchup. I was behind that whole time. Those are my 2 worst games. Happened against the same opponent. You know, and it was pretty much he won the same way both times. Like Donatello and Baxter Stockman with like that pump and attack trigger combination was whooping me up. So in that matchup, you know, being mana constrained was definitely an issue, and then also not having enough removal in that specific matchup was quite significant. But let me know what you think. You know, I don't really think I had much better build options, just purely because Prehistoric Pet, Triceratron Commander, Leader's Talent, and, you know, Oroku, you know, it just felt like ninjutsu, or rather sneak, was gonna be the way to go. So I had a good time. I definitely am much prouder of this deck than my Lorwyn and what else? What other pre-release? My Avatar deck, you know, like those decks by comparison, I think weren't as tight. So, you know, I think I am getting better at this format, but largely it's just a good time. So, hey, listen, if you don't like TMNT, all good. That's your prerogative. That's absolutely fine, but I did enjoy it, and I hope you got value from this video. Please consider liking and subscribing, and checking out maybe some of my openings, etc. Yeah, wishing you well, and Mono Monkey out.